We are creatures bringing the past to our future, sloughing off the things that clog up our life, growing to a new version of ourselves. Still here, but behind us, helping each other to move forward. Misconceived conceptions, the stigma of venom, of danger. Yet, when respected, there is nothing to fear. We are creatures bringing the past to our future,
sloughing off the things that clog up our life, growing to a new version of ourselves. Still there, behind us,
but behind us, helping each other to move forward.
Misconceived conception, the stigma of venom,
the stigma of venom.
Yet, when respected, there is nothing to fear.
When respected, there is nothing to fear. We are creatures
bringing the past to our future,
sloughing off the things that clog up, growing to a new version of ourselves.
Still there,
but behind us,
helping each other.
There is nothing to fear.
An endangered creature defending its own, dreamily slithering along the earth, relieving itself of its worries.
An ongoing stigma on snake and mental health. Damned is all they can see, disengaged from all the noises, living and coexisting. Why don't you ease up, reconnect to nature?
Additional adders slither across the grass, disturbing some amongst us, delighting others. Everyone reacts differently, resisting predictions.
Back to the nature, all shown in an adder, all part of the same.
Adder in the grass, taking its time to smell prey. Lunch is on the way.
Snake sloughing its skin, twisting, coiling, getting free, life is a melee.
Misconceived conceptions, the stigma of venom, of danger. Yet, when respected, there is nothing to fear.
First, Cheryl worked with adder action to source a slough, the shed skin of an adder. Then she designed a camera lens to incorporate the slough and commissioned Cariad glass to make it for us. Cheryl ran small group sessions at Swansea Mind. First, we thought about what nature meant to us with a visioning exercise as a stimulus to pen a group poem. Cheryl showed us a film she had made about the adder. Then we talked about how the stereotypes between mental health and the adder were similar. The shedding of skin, moving on, being misunderstood, needing space but having it taken away. This inspired our group poem.
We practiced our poems as spoken word and Cheryl recorded us. Then we watched another film she had made about our adder sound art. Cheryl showed us how she had used the pattern on the back of an adder from Oxford Bay to compose music. The music was played by contrabass recorder player Delph Holland.
Then Cheryl used effects to transform the music into sound art that represented the movements of the snake. This inspired us to write our acrostic adder poems. Haiku is a form of poetry from Japan, thought to have started in the 1300s and traditionally based on nature. We practiced as a group and then wrote our own individual haiku poetry, which Cheryl then recorded.
We talked together about a brief for the final piece, which Cheryl drafted for us, and then we had the final editorial decision on the piece you've watched. In 2025, our work will be shared with the community groups across Swansea on the People's Collection Wales and with Natural Resources Wales. At the end of sessions, we recorded how we felt about the creative journey.
It's been a journey, self-discovery, with the creative element, the writing. It's been interesting sort of learning about the Adder, but about sound art, and watching the finished piece, well, gave me goosebumps.
It's something out of my comfort zone. It is quite interesting, and it's nice seeing the stigma kind of break around the adders, really. Really good, yeah. Really artsy and really good, yeah. Quite creative.
Yes, so before I joined this adder session with Cheryl, I honestly didn't really pay much attention to, well, adder snake or nature in general, but after the session, I can appreciate the nature, the adder, and have a deeper reflection on myself as well. How just to kind of reflect on how similar adder shed their skins compared to how we can leave our compared to how we just leave our past in the past, and then it's been a journey, and I really do think more deeply in myself as well, and try to appreciate the nature a bit more. I do enjoy the visualization, which was in the second session, the visualization of your perception of nature, because it does make me appreciate and think back on how what's the safest kind of place for myself.
It's been a very interesting experience partly because of its unpredictability. Never quite sure what's going to happen next in these sessions, and also it re-engaged me with the creative writing process, something I've been very familiar with in the past, but lost a little bit out of touch with lately, particularly with poetry. And I enjoyed coming up with the 2 short haikus we did, and I'm very interested in reptiles generally anyway, so that aspect of it with the adder was of particular interest, and I generally enjoyed it very much.